today.
Are we live? Well, you are.
I know, because usually when we do our virtual wine tasting tour, I am in stilettos, but today I'm barefoot because I'm not wearing a kimono because I don't have any more. So typically it's kimono Saturday.
And it's like I'm with two different people sometimes.
I know, right?
One's really tall and one's kind of short.
I know. So welcome to our virtual wine tasting tour episode, I think week 8 or 9.
7, 8.
I don't know. I ran out of kimonos. That's all I can tell you. So luckily I'm not in my pajamas. But we are doing a little bit of a diverse kind of wine tasting today because we're going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
So we love Highland Valley. Highland Valley happens to be in our neck of the woods in San Diego, California, and more importantly, right in Escondido. And we live in Southwest Escondido at Casa de Pole with our 4 chickens and little Miss Mackenzie Moo, our real estate assistant. And today we went up the hill, and it's such a beautiful drive, and all the grapes are just, the vines are really popping, aren't they?
They are. And
we landed at Old Survey.
Which is interesting. I think, have we been there once or twice before?
I think once.
I think only once, and it was when they first opened. And as usual, we're going to be honest with you, we were not that impressed. It was beautiful property, had gorgeous views of the San Pasquale Valley. And the facility itself was nice, but the wines were kind of like a lot of new wineries at first. There's a learning curve. They were okay, but we've been hearing, because we work up at Espinosa's, only a couple miles away from it. We've been hearing that they've been better and better and better. And today I went there, and the owner was there and let me taste a couple of them. Actually, the 2 I ended up getting, and they really are very good. I mean, they have really improved and grown. I mean, it's impressive.
And they're not open for business. They're, Philip called ahead and did the whole procedure, safety first, right?
But both wineries told me today, from their understanding, they expect to be open the first week of June again.
Yay! And then we don't have to do this anymore.
Or we may do it like at the venue.
Okay.
We can actually show what their actual venues look like. That could be kind of fun, at least for one go around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Old Survey. So do you know how the name came about?
I recall a story when we went there the first time, which I can't recall the total details. So you tell me.
Well, there's not much to it. They're located on Old Survey Road.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's Old Survey. It's at 16850 Old Survey Road. That would kind of give it away had you read my little note right there.
All right.
There's not a lot to tell because their website is being under construction, I believe. I mentioned it to him, and he goes, yeah, he goes, really, it was by accident. And I go, you mean it was accident that your website's not really updated? And he goes, no, the whole winery was by accident. Like most of the wineries up in Highland Valley, they came into being after the 2007 Witch Creek fires.
Okay.
So they decided for some reason, and he didn't go into detail why, but they thought, let's try making wine. So they purchased grapes from somewhere. They made some wine, and they kind of liked it. So they decided, let's make a little bit more. So they made more. Well, pretty soon they got to where they were making about 2,600 bottles.
Well, they can't drink 2,600
but they realized,
or bottles in a year.
Their little family drank about 600, which I was kind of impressed. Wow, 600 bottles a year? I mean, I don't know how many people have in the family, but you and I might go through that. I'm not sure. But anyway.
I wouldn't even want to count.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
No.
But anyway, so they were giving away and selling some of it at that time. And then they decided, you know what, we need to go big or go home. So they decided we either do it big or we give it up.
Okay.
And they decided to go big. So I don't know how much they produce right now. I think his wife knows those answers. He did not know.
But
He's cute. He's a cute guy.
You met a person that just got his license as a physical inspector.
He
did. He was all nervous. Oh my God, I just got myself in the worst career ever. This whole world is coming to an end.
He goes, oh man. He goes, here I do all this work and now it's probably just a waste of my time. And I said, are you kidding me? It's the perfect time.
Yep.
So he was all excited, wanted our card. He was going to tune in today with his wife, and they really wanted to tune into your cooking show because
I have a cooking show.
The cooking show, 5 o'clock, 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's not
except Saturday.
Not always on Saturday. It's kind of whenever I feel like it.
But most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-ish. But anyway, they were kind of getting into cooking, so they wanted to watch. And of course, I told them you were a French-trained chef, and all that kind of stuff. French-trained. She went there for a couple weeks and learned. I won't say she's totally French-trained because she didn't graduate from the school over there, but she did go there and learn. That's true. You did.
I ran that ski
You were
chalet.
French-trained.
I did run a ski chalet in Vail.
And that needs to be a story for a day.
Oh, my word.
That's a funny story.
It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I gave up my career as the North American training director for Laura Ashley and packed up a U-Haul truck in Boston and put a for sale sign in my yard and jumped in a U-Haul with somebody I had just met. I mean, talk about lunatic.
Now you know how she ended up with me.
And then we get there and they hire us to run one of 9 ski chalets in the world, and the one in Vail is the only one in the United States.
And it was a French country, right? I mean, that owns it, a French owner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was British.
Oh.
David was from England.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long story. But I am going to talk about my big flop yesterday, too.
It's not a flop, actually, but talk about that, and then we'll get into the wines.
Okay. So yesterday I tried my hand at baking again, and I do not have baking or measuring spoons. They now are in my Amazon cart to be delivered eventually. So I know what I did wrong. I doubled the batch of these keto muffins. Notice how skinny and little mine are? They taste really good.
They do.
I only put half the amount of baking powder in it that it called for. So next time, I'm making them again, I swear to God, and they're gonna get so awesome and puffy, and they're gonna be
Just do
beautiful.
twice as much as you should, and they'll get big and puffy.
I'm telling you.
Might not
Okay.
taste good, but
Tell me what the scoop is on this wine.
So this wine, it is a rosé of Malbec, which I've never had before, and they actually have 2 rosés there, one sweeter and one dry. And I said, absolutely for us, the drier.
Dry.
So he let me taste it, and it's very good. It is dry. As you can see, it's not French style in color. Those are super pale pink usually. But it is pretty dry, and it's very good. So, rosé of Malbec.
So I see Starla and Fran Finley and Tiffany, and I see Carolina. I see Cheryl. I just want to tell you, Carolina, tomorrow Journey was supposed to be playing a concert. And Carolina and we met at a concert. We were sitting next to each other. Yeah. So let me taste this.
Yes, taste that.
I like the name of this one.
I know. So this
wait till you hear the name of this one.
This is a blend. It's called
Cheers.
It's called the Hit the Road Red.
Woo!
Owner told me that he wanted to name it Pothole Red, which was really appropriate because Old Survey Road is full of potholes. It's quite the venture up a steep hill with lots of potholes. But it actually is a really good red. And I don't have any idea what it consists of. Oh, no, I do. I have an exact idea. It's 40% Barbera and 60% Syrah.
Nice.
And it really is a great smooth red. I mean, that's an easy drinking red for sure. You don't need to eat a lot. You know, most of the time you want to eat food with a red. This is when you could do patio wine almost. It's really good.
I like girlfriend wine. To sit on a patio with girlfriends would be so awesome right now. Not that it's bad to sit on a patio with you, but I think I've been sitting on a patio with you for 597,000 days, and that's only March, April, and May. The longest year of our life is March, April, and May, right? So here's cheers to that.
Yeah, very good.
So now where are we headed?
In Old Survey, by the way, it's relatively new. It started, they set it up in 2008.
Okay, so Highland Valley, Old Survey, gotta check it out, and now we're gonna move on down the road.
Now we're gonna head over into Highland. This is down off Bandy Canyon. Now we're gonna go up off of Highland Valley Road.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Now this winery I've never been to. Philip Fredrickson has gone, and we've heard about it, but I've never been. So I'm super, super curious, Philip Fredrickson, about the name of this winery.
Okay, so ZxQ, this is one of the newer wineries up in Highland Valley.
Yeah.
And Mary Beth and I, we meant to go, we intended to go,
And
but
then we got closed down.
We got closed down. Although it's been open long enough, we could have gone, but back then we were trying to help Roberto and Noel before they took off to Spain,
That's
get their
true.
things done, you know? So anyway, we were talking to them on, what is it, Snapchat, or what is it we talk to them on?
WhatsApp.
And
You don't even know how to get a Snapchat.
and I asked Roberto what he thought about ZXQ and whether that might be a good subject for coming, and he goes, yes, absolutely, they make some good wines. So I passed that along, of course, to the owner, and his name is Andrew Klotz. He likes to be called Andy. And I was just up there today, and man, it's really, his vines are going crazy in their growing.
Wow.
Compared to the other ones around the valley there, they're twice as big and grown.
Huh.
I don't know what he does, but wow.
Didn't he even say that he's praying to them?
Yeah, he's like, slow down. I think it's taken a lot of work to keep those things pruned the way they need to be.
Tell the story about who he was in college with.
So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, interestingly, he's the owner and the winemaker, and he was actually at UC Davis when I was up at Napa Valley going to college, and he took viticulture and what's it called? Enology, which is study of wines. And viticulture, of course, you know what that is. It's the study of growing the grapes and all that kind of thing. So that's what he did in undergrad at UC Davis. He ended up not pursuing that, and he actually stayed there, and he became a veterinarian.
But is that where
one of the top schools for veterinary medicine is there? So no, but during what you were getting at is during his undergrad, you know, of course he lived in a dorm. Well, of course, but he lived in a dorm, and of course they had parties. That was what I meant to say.
What?
And interestingly, that came to a lot of the parties were a couple of guys whose family name are Heights. Heights and Phelps. So those of you who are familiar with the area up there, Joseph Phelps, some amazing wines there. And they would bring bottles of wine that were just no labels. They just had a piece of duct tape on there or masking tape that had written on there red wine, or it might have said what varietal it was. But he said there were some pretty amazing wines.
Joseph's daughter Leslie lives in San Diego. I know her.
And some of his professors at UC Davis they weren't known for it then, but they ended up being pretty famous winemakers of their own in the region, Napa Valley and in Paso Robles.
So you still haven't told me what this means.
Okay, so the name ZXQ. So it really he told me it was created out of frustration. Actually, I think I might have read this on his website. I'm not sure, but it was created out of frustration because all the cool names for wineries had already been taken.
Oh my!
So he was frustrated with that. So he goes, well, maybe I'll just come up with a few letters or something and make it work. So then he thought about it and he goes, well, it needs to be unique. So how do you get unique letters? You go to Scrabble and you see which letters of the cubes have the most points. Those are the rarest ones and the hardest to use.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
He came up with those three names, ZXQ. But that's not the order they came in. He had an artist kind of figure out what looks artistically the best in the order.
This totally looks cool.
So ZXQ was the way it looked the best out of the three letters that had the highest points on Scrabble.
I like it.
I mean, that's super cool. I mean, most wineries have a reason for the name, and he does.
And so today, once you got back, he's been texting you and giving you all kinds of cool information.
Yeah.
Right? So.
So he bought the land up there in 2002, and again, like virtually every other winery, it had avocados on it, and every other winery, they burned down in 2007. So the main house and most of the avocado trees burned. So he decided, he looked at, what do I do? Should I do it? And a lot of people went from avocados to grapes because of the water necessary. Grapes require a lot less water.
Okay.
So he planted grapes. And 2015 was his first harvest, and his first Cabernet Sauvignon was one of that harvest.
Ooh.
This is a 2015,
Okay.
and he entered this into one of the wine competitions here locally, and he won gold medal. His first wine,
That's
first harvest,
pretty
first
cool.
varietal,
Wow.
which is awesome. And I can tell you, when you taste this wine, you'll know why. I mean, it's a great wine.
And I have some blue cheese out here, as well as Vera. Vera's a dear friend of ours. She's an attorney as well as a client of ours, and she made some apricot jam. So this would be pretty good with that blue cheese.
Yep.
And so we're gonna taste it?
So we're gonna taste this one.
Okay. Oh, were these grapes grown on the property?
Yes, these were.
Oh, estate Cabernet.
See how good that is?
Oh,
I
darn.
was telling Andy,
That's good stuff.
I can't wait till he's all excited. He thinks he's going to be able to open up in 2 weeks, first week of June, and he's anxious for us to come up, and we're anxious to go up and try all of his wines. This here is from Dry Creek Valley. It's a rosé, and it's a rosé of Grenache mostly, but a little bit of Cinsault.
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 What's Cinsault? You do say.
It's a varietal.
You say so.
And I do say so.
To Cinsault. Okay, and then the other wild thing that Andy did right before we turned on this Facebook Live is he must have gone to Facebook and found out that I am from this town called
I'm gonna
Conneaut.
go check and see if he answered that
Okay,
question.
Conneaut, Ohio. And he said, "Oh my God, Mary Beth is from Conneaut, Ohio," and like on the planet Earth, you would not know where Conneaut, Ohio is unless you were from Conneaut, Ohio, or northeastern Ohio, because it's the northeast tip of the state.
I never heard of it until that
tiny.
matter.
His mom is from there, so we're trying to find out what his mom's last name is because
Maiden
maiden name.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a huge chance that it's a name that is very familiar
To
in
you. Yeah.
my town, because there's very few names in our hometown. Like a lot of people name the same names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all, I didn't mean it that way. There are not a lot of Kovacevics though, or Kovaceviches, or
Maybe
Kovacs.
inferring that a lot of people
No.
from Pontiac marry their cousins.
No!
No.
And my friends are listening, so you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
stop it, stop it, stop it.
Hey, I love your friends from Pontiac.
Mm-hmm. I have awesome friends from
You
Canada.
too.
Okay,
I even like going to her class reunions. Can you imagine that?
best class ever.
No, they really are a lot of fun.
Amazing. Okay, where are we headed?
We are headed now going all the way up the coast to the central part of the coast. And we are going to Paso Robles. No, we're going to go, yes, we're going to, not Paso Robles, we're going to, actually, it's technically Santa Barbara County,
Okay.
but it's Santa Ynez. And it's on the way eastern side of Santa Ynez where their vineyards are. And it's a beautiful property. So let's go.
All right.
Pack it up.
I'm getting ready. Gotta get Mackenzie to go with us too, because
She loves going up to the wineries.
So usually we have a fashion segment, and today we're not because I'm out of my kimonos. So.
Well, you look like you're in your kimono to me.
We've got a lot of stuff here, and I'm very little today.
I think if you were out of your kimono, we would have a lot more people watching.
Ha 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 ha. So Gwenny, notice that I'm on in my flats today. I'm like barefoot. Okay, so we love Happy Canyon.
Oh yeah.
We love.
We were determined we were not joining another wine club. We told you the story about how the first time we went up to Paso Robles, we came home and we were members of 12 new wineries, wine club memberships, because we realized after that trip that after the first winery, we take Mary Beth's credit cards away, because everywhere you go to, it's like, oh my gosh, do you realize they won Winemaker of the Year back in 1977? And it's like we come home and we've got cases of wine there from all the wine shipments that we've gotten.
Supporting our peeps.
We do. So
Happy Canyon, we've got all kinds of experiences. First of all, when we're allowed, you can physically just get on the coaster, take the train to Santa Barbara.
One of our favorite things to do.
The train lets you off in the funk zone. You don't even have to rent a car or anything, and they've got a beautiful tasting room right in downtown Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm. There's like 7 or 8 other little tasting rooms from the wineries right there too, so you can just like take Uber, chill, and Uber home. Or eat. There's a lot of restaurants right in there and around there too. Mm-hmm.
So we're members. Hence the reason we have a lot.
And this isn't half of what we have.
I know, we've got a lot more.
Back here, we've got big wooden cases of their reserve. Jeff, there I saw some. That's right.
Happy.
Yeah.
We're unhappy still.
Yeah, we're back to happy.
He's jumping the gun. All right, so
That's
Sean,
the next one.
talk
Sean?
about Sean.
Well, there's not much to tell about Sean other than how nice he is. He was not in the industry, and he married into the Brock family, their daughter, and he ended up being the winemaker.
And he's phenomenal.
And he wasn't sure he wanted to do it, but then now it's like he said, it's a life-changing event for him. He loves it so much, and you can tell by the wines how much he loves it.
And they name, like their vineyard grows are named after all the family members, their kids, their relatives. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Because once we went to the tasting room in Santa Barbara, we called and we made an appointment, and we actually, I thought more people would be there. It ends up just being Philip and I and Mackenzie. Mackenzie got to go. And Sean, the winemaker, toured us all over the property.
Like in a little 4-wheel drive golf cart.
It was
and
so
he took us
cool.
all around and then took us to the main house where they have like like a tasting room in the kitchen. They brought out this whole charcuterie board.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful venue. And they have two official polo fields on the property. Hence the reason there's some naming of the wines.
Yeah, all the namings. 10 goal. You know, when they rate in a chucker is like a period in a match, and like 10 goal, they judge and rate polo players based on goals, and 10 is the highest ranking you can get as a player. And so this is their creme de la creme wine.
This is the one that
10 goal.
PT and Lori love. Yeah.
So Barak is the family name, and Piocho is where they I think it's called the Piocho. The ranch is Piocho, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they and it is funny because anything that's named Piocho, and they have several, they have like a reserve and all that. But Piocho means where the two rivers meet and go to heaven.
Oh, I love that.
So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
And there are two rivers.
And there are two
that do meet on their property.
It's so, like rolling hills. It's a
so
gorgeous property.
My phone screensaver is a picture of Philip Fredrickson, Mackenzie, and I standing, and Sean took
up on top of the hill.
Yeah,
Sean
took that picture.
Yeah.
So, what are we tasting?
So what we're tasting this is the 2016 Piocho, and it is a Bordeaux blend. That's kind of what they focus on, Bordeaux varietals and Bordeaux blends. And this is a Bordeaux blend. So this one is made up of 35% Cabernet Sauvignon, 30% Merlot, 23% Cab Franc, 6% Malbec, and 6% Petit Verdot. And if memory serves, it's been a little while since we've had that one, but wow, this is usually a big.
We love all of Happy Canyon wines. You
can see the colors, just like deep, rich.
Okay, I was standing on releve. I had to exercise my ballerina skills here.
That requires something. You know, it's always good.
You're not gonna put chocolate in your mouth on top of pepperoni or
cheese? No, it's cheese. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, such a guy. Never do that as a girl.
These are chocolate-covered acai berries. So, I mean, that's great with any red wine.
Cheese? Oh, not good. Okay, so we've got the what's this one?
This one actually it's a white blend. And it's partly a Sauvignon Blanc. It's 33% Sauvignon Blanc and 67% Semillon.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar with Semillon, you should try that.
And this is the chucker.
Okay. I think that's 100% Cab Franc.
Okay. We already talked about that. All right, cool.
And these are just more. This is the Piocho, but it's the reserve. So they always take the best grapes, the perfect grapes, and everything to make the reserves out of.
Wow.
Miss 10 Gold. They're all to die for. These are great.
Delicious, delicious. So we hope everybody's doing well. Hanging in there, and it looks like a lot of people are being released from prison and getting out and doing things and going places. And
thank God.
Yesterday we did a parade for our fabulous Penny. It was her birthday, and we met at Morley Field.
She's what, 39 now?
39, just like me. And a bunch of us from the office met at Morley Field. And we all had our mask on, and we all were like completely doing our physical distancing. But let me tell you, just to be able to see 25 to 30 carfuls of people that we work with, that we love and we miss, and we always get to see them on Zoom, was so awesome. I mean, tears were shed yesterday.
I was going to say, yeah.
It was emotional. It was emotional just to get to see people and like virtually hug across the parking lot. So I think I'm going to plan a parking lot party for the company. And I think we're going to find like some big parking lot, and we're going to do a 6 feet apart music blasting and everybody like dancing.
We'll just do 6 foot, put a tape all around so everybody can stand on a square.
I think it would be so awesome because you could tell, even in the text last night that everybody was sending back and forth from our group, how great it was. It was just so awesome to get to see people even from afar.
Yeah, it was fun.
So,
good time.
Little virtual.
All right, one little more sip of this.
Okay. And
then we're going to head on up to Pasarolas.
Oh.
But you know there's that really good steak place on the way.
There is.
I wish we could stop and
get
that one.
I know. Hey, Dad.
All right, we're moving forward.
Hi, Debbie. We are going to Paso Robles. All right, here we go. May not have combed the back of my hair today. I don't even know if I...
Another one of our favorite wineries.
All right. And you talked about big steak. So here is a huge...
It's like a T-bone.
T-bone. It's not even defrosted yet, but this big steak is going to go with the wine that we have out today. So we are now at...
Justin Winery.
Justin. Both of us have a lot of history separately and together with Justin Winery.
Do you know where that name came from?
I think it came from the owner's first name.
Owner winemaker, Justin Baldwin.
All right. And what's really cool is they're doing, at least they have been, doing on Instagram Live on Friday evenings a wine tasting virtual thing in the cave.
And food pairing.
It's super cool.
Justin Baldwin's there describing the wines, and they have another person, I think it's one of their chefs, that talks about the food. They send you, you can order it ahead, and they ship you the 3 bottles of wine they're going to taste at a discounted price, and I think it's free shipping. And they provide the menu and the recipes for the food or whatever they're pairing the wines with, so you can eat along. And we did do it.
We did do it.
And actually, some of these are some of the ones that were in it.
Okay.
So, one of my favorite wines of Justin is Isosceles. That's probably one of the ones they're known most for. They do make an Isosceles Reserve. And if you're a member of the Isosceles Reserve Club, you can get 6 or 12 bottles of that a year. That was actually the case as I was referring to out there. But this Isosceles not reserve is always fantastic. It's super good. And you can a lot of times pick that up even at Costco.
Huh.
This is this was one of the tasting wines. This is their Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve. Always good. We're going to be drinking this one, so we'll talk about that in a minute. This is their Rosé, which it's done in definitely the style of Provence.
It's very pretty.
So it's really good. And their Sauvignon Blanc, you can pick this up just about anywhere. Grocery stores and everything is reasonably priced and is really a good wine. So that you should try too. And it comes in the convenient Sinopolis top type wine bottle.
Yeah, when you can sneak in a screw cap into Sinopolis. I mean, of course,
you can do cork too, but it's easier.
It's easier. Screw cap is easier. So we have both been there many times. And Justin is located kind of off the beaten path, right?
It's way out. But there's lots of great wineries and olive oil tasting and stuff on the road going out to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not as like in the main fray of everything.
Right.
And they have a place you can stay.
They do. You've done it. And of course, Bernie did too.
So Philip has this thing. You know, my mom is 97 and will be 98 in November. And she, like when I first met Philip, I would say, oh my gosh, you know who's on here? I see you, Nayuk, from Southern Sudan that went and visited my mother in Conneaut, Ohio. How wild is that? And stayed with her when we were helping raise money for Water for Sudan back in the day through the Rancho Santa Fe Chamber of Commerce. And that's where I met Don Meredith and so many fantastic people. I digressed. So we took my mom on a trip, and my mom stayed at Justin Winery. But Philip always says Bernie has been more places than he's been in San Diego.
Every time we went somewhere, oh, Bernie's been here. And it got to the point where every time we went somewhere, I go, don't tell me, Bernie's been here, right? And of course she had been.
Right? Don't move too hard.
Which was awesome. You get to take your mom to fun places.
Lots of places.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we drinking?
We are actually drinking what's called the Right Angle. And it's interesting because, you know, their symbol, you can see, is like a triangle.
Well, what is the reason for that?
I don't know. But Right Angle,
I'm shocked.
It's a Bordeaux blend. Also, that's what they're known for as well, as Bordeaux blends. This one is 76% Cab. That's the main varietal. Typically in a Bordeaux style, they'll have the main one being Cab or Merlot, depending upon which one is the best.
Okay.
You know, like what was their best grape that year. But anyway, they also have 14% Malbec, 6% Petit Syrah, and 4% Petit Verdot. So that varies every year based on the winemaker's feeling about each of the grapes and what it needs as they're blending.
All right. So, Deb, I know you recently went with Megan. You guys did a Girls Gone Wild trip up to Costa Robles, and it looked like super fun. And Lisa and Patrick Bailey, they go up there often.
We try to go every year.
Yeah. And then our Rotten group, we didn't go there. We went to Solvay.
We went into
and
Los
we went to
Olivos.
Los Olivos,
Yeah.
so that was fun with Nikki and Bill.
Crazy.
So fun. Nurse Jim, who's out on the front lines at Scripps Hospital. So let's talk about, oh, we gotta taste this, right?
We'll taste it, and then we'll talk about it in a second. That's just huge, isn't it?
That is smooth. That's super smooth.
One of the things that makes Paso Robles such
Wow, look at the
an
legs,
amazing
too.
wine growing region, and why they do so well with big grapes, Cabernets and Zins, all those kind of things.
It's got some legs.
In California, in the wine growing regions, there's the largest variance between day temperatures and night temperatures. And they both serve a function on the development of the grapes. They really ripen and get big fruit and acidity with that sun, and at night the cooling, it keeps the fruit and everything and the sugars that are in there, and it keeps them in instead of letting them go as part of the growing process. So it's really huge, and that's why I think Highland Valley is a good area, because it does cool off a lot of Perrin Escondido at night. Like, we've lived different places. We lived out in East County before in...
Not together, but a mile apart.
No, Rancho San Diego.
Weird.
I'm sure we ran into each other all the time
I know.
at that time.
Talk about serendipity.
And there, you know, it's hotter in the day and cooler at night than, let's say, out by the beach, where it's much more constant. Up here in Escondido, it's even a bigger variance. And here, the biggest variance between day and night. So that's a huge help for certain varietals, not all.
Yep.
You know, we can't grow... Pinot Noir very well up here. You need more cool and moderate temperatures for that, closer to the ocean and, you know, the nighttime fog and all that kind of stuff.
So I see Jonathan on here. Jonathan, Phillip, and I share a listing together in Santa Luz, 7871 Corte de Luz. So hi, Jonathan. And it was super awesome to, like, from far away see you at Penny's birthday parade last night. I didn't realize that I have on my resume now that I'm a parade marshal.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. And hey, Sarah, we love you and all of the cooking that you're doing. You're doing some beautiful, you should type in, please, in our Facebook, the name of your Instagram channel, so people can tune in to all that delicious cooking that you're doing, and get some new viewers to watch you. Because, you know, this cooking thing is getting a little crazy. Crazy.
By the way, if you're looking for a wine club to join, both Happy Canyon and Justin are super good value, and, you know, a nice amount of wine for what you're spending. Justin is the second largest wine club in the world. Do you know what number one is?
Yes, I do, because I was a wine member forever and amen, and I used to stay there all the time, and I love Tobin, and I love running in the vineyards with his doggy, Tubman James.
So they're the largest, and honestly, even though Justin is the second largest, Tubman James is almost twice the size of it. It's really amazing, which is why they can afford to have free tastings when you go to Tubman James. It doesn't cost you anything to taste their wines. You can sit there at the bar and drink all day. If you
Not that we have. We've just witnessed people do it, and we worry about that.
Never do that.
But I always say, when you go to Paso Robles, you always end at Tobin. And speaking of Paso Robles, when we celebrated Ralph's 50th birthday party almost a year ago, it's coming up.
Actually, wasn't it already?
No, it's in June.
Okay.
We stayed at Allegretto, and for anybody that's looking for a breathtaking place to stay or have an event, Allegretto is
fabulous.
And all these places are going to need our love. They're going to need us to go back there. They're going to need us to give them love, go and stay.
And by the way, they have a winery as well, and fantastic wines.
Yep.
And when you're a wine club member, they give you pretty substantial discounts on the room rates and stuff.
That's true. So pretty. And we got to stay there because it was Ralph's birthday. And they even have a chapel.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. So.
Which Mary Beth hosted a big dinner for his party group
I did.
for his birthday in that chapel. It was really beautiful.
I
and
did.
cool.
I produced his entire 3-day birthday party
You did.
because that's what I do.
And that was off the hook.
Parade marshal.
I mean, the whole weekend was off the hook.
Party. That one was tricky because I didn't have my Gwen with me, but I did have Stacy, and Stacy is the event person for Allegretto.
For Allegretto.
And she and I became fast friends. We ended up, she wanted us to come and stay with her at her house and everything. Super cool.
So, I think that's kind of it.
I think it is. So, I'm not sure how many more of these we're going to do.
I don't know.
You know? Oh, June 5th, Costa Rush, Chef Deborah Scott's restaurant's opening. The Mission Avenue Bar and Cafe with Chef William Eck, that is opened in Oceanside. Blade 1936 is open. I believe Piazza 1909, Candor. Everybody's getting ready. They haven't yet. The Plot, we saw Elena and Regina, our past clients and now our dear friends. They were ordering and sitting out on the patio at the Plot yesterday, teasing us like, "Oh, look, we're here and you're not." And then
It's okay. We had some epic sushi.
we did. Oh my gosh! From Chula Seafood, just off the boat, we've got this sashimi ahi grade
salmon and ahi.
Yeah, super good. So, and I was learning how to cut it thinner. You know.
You know, I don't even mind it thick. I think it's good.
Ugh.
You get some meat
I
in
know,
your mouth.
but I'm finally getting a little bit better with it. And I noticed that one of our tomato plants, I don't know what the heck happened, Philip
I know.
Frederickson, but one of my tomato plants,
Frederickson, I have water on it.
one day, beautiful, huge buds, the next day, like laying down dead.
I think something got in there and ate it or
Yeah, but
something
it's
because
like
it was like it was like two different plants. Yes, one day to the
know.
next. Something.
I know.
I would think it's a gopher, and
But
I
they
don't know,
can't get up there.
No, they could. There's no bottom to that. They could
Yeah,
tumble
but
in
it's
and
gonna
go
like,
up and.
oh, those little devils.
Yeah, it could be a gopher. That's what it looked like, honestly.
I mean, that's just crazy. What if they get the rest of my stuff?
So if I knew then what I know now, we would put
Put
in
the-
some hardware cloth underneath so they can't get
Yep.
up in there.
And
But yet the roots and everything else could go
the
down.
zucchini is getting as big as a tree out there, and we're gonna have zucchini. Oh gosh, I hope I don't have to bake anything. I'm not gonna make zucchini bread. I'm not making zucchini
Come
muffins.
on, make some. Let's see you make some keto-friendly zucchini bread.
Yeah, it'll be zucchini layered in a muffin tin with a bunch of cheese in between, baked in the oven with nothing else. That would be keto, right?
Yeah.
Full of fat.
That is.
There you go. So, all right, we're rambling, we're babbling, we're gonna get out of your hair so you guys can all have a super awesome Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend night. And we are gonna say, stay physically distant while staying socially connected. And we will catch you, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. If I'm cooking, if I'm not cooking.
No, you're not cooking.
I don't know.
And drink. Well, you might do your show, but
I don't know.
we're not gonna.
I
cook.
gotta think about what I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
If I even did that.
So go drink your favorite beverage, whatever that is,
Iced
and
tea,
enjoy this
water,
beautiful afternoon and evening because we
whatever.
sure are.
Yeah. See you guys. Be safe.
Bye.